Mr. Speaker, I yield myself 3 minutes.
The gentleman is recognized for 3 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, it is not unknown that I've had some reservations about the bill and about the procedure that has brought us to the floor. I note to you, Mr. Speaker, that this is, however, a good bill and one which I support. Indeed, this is legislation which the nation has to have, and for that reason I urge my colleagues to vote for it. I begin with proper commendations to our Speaker, to Mr. Hoyer, to Mr. Rangel, Mr. Gordon, Mr. Peterson, and Mr. Oberstar, the chairs of our colleagues' committees, for their good work and leadership on this matter. And I do salute you, Madam Speaker, for your leadership here. I would note that the perfection of this matter, or how it was handled, is not a question before us, but rather it is what we should do about a major problem which this nation confronts. In my extensive remarks, I'll talk about the costs of failure to act at this time. This is not a bill that the Committee on Energy and Commerce and my colleagues and I would have been written if it had been followed the regular order, nor indeed is it achieved under the order which we would have followed. Indeed, it is a process which is brought about in good part because of the lack of interest by the White House and, very frankly, the incompetence and the indifference and the arrogance of the other body. I will be voting for this legislation because it contains a number of significant landmark achievements. It will raise fuel economy standards by 40% to 35 miles per gallon, and it will do it in a way which achieves and protects American jobs, and it gives manufacturers proper flexibility in achieving our goals. It also closes what has been misleadingly, and I think dishonestly, called the SUV loophole. It expands incentives for the production of cars and trucks that run on renewable fuels. And it will help American factories to retool to build the cars and trucks of tomorrow. I want to at this time pay particular compliment and congratulations to two of our very able colleagues and those who have joined them in their efforts to protect this legislation. Mr. Hill of Indiana, an extremely valuable member of this body, and Mr. Terry, another very valuable member of this body. These two members from Indiana and Nebraska have provided extraordinary leadership in this matter in the Hill-Terry bill, and they deserve the thanks and the congratulations of this Congress. This legislation includes efficiency standards for buildings and appliances that will remove more than 10 billion tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, an equal amount to 5 times the annual emissions of all cars on the road today in the United States. For those who are concerned about portions of the bill dealing with renewable fuels and renewable electricity generation,
Time has expired.
I would simply say that this is far from the final word, and the committee will carry forward its oversight on these matters vigorously. I reserve the balance of my time, and at this time I ask unanimous consent, Mr. Speaker, to yield the remainder of my time to the distinguished gentleman from Virginia, the chairman of the Subcommittee on Energy and Air Quality, Mr. Boucher, and I ask that he be permitted to control the time.
Without objection.